Hello, I'm Kelsi Wilmot with Hill Country MHDD. That stands for Mental Health and Developmental Disabilities. I am the Director of Community Development, and I have been working for the agency for about 4 years. I'm going to go ahead and introduce the rest of our team for today.
My name is Tyler Townsend, and I'm the communication specialist. I've been with Hill Country for about 6 years. I started off as a mental health peer support specialist, and really excited to get this podcast started today.
And I'm Wanda Ferguson, and I've also been with Hill Country, but I've been there a little bit longer. I'm going on 13 years, and I am the lead family partner.
So this is just an opportunity for us to get to know our employees a little bit better, have a space where people can talk about their lived experience, their programming, to share more about who we are and what we do. And Tyler came up with this really cool name of the podcast, Let's Talk About It. So yeah, we'll go ahead and get with Wanda so we can learn more
About the family partner.
Yeah.
I'm really pleased to talk about the family partner. We need to be out there more than what we are. I'm a family partner. I have lived experience. And having the lived experience, I have found out that I don't have that degree behind me, but it helps our parents to understand what we're doing and how we're doing it. And we advocate for each and every one of them. I remember, I'm going to make it short though, when my son was younger, I didn't know what to do. I thought he was just lying to me about a lot of stuff. I didn't believe him. I didn't know a lot about mental health at all. So I just went along with it, and I was believing what the schools were telling me. Your child needs this and this. One day I just woke up and I just had my aha moment. No, there's something wrong. It's not, but I didn't have what we have today. Back then it was just, you didn't talk about mental health, period, especially not in my family. It was kept behind the scenes. And back they always said, oh, just give him a good whipping. He'll be okay. He's all kid. Finally, the more I got into with the mental illness and the mental health and talking about it, I said, and my son did pass away in 2016. And ever since then, I thought, you know what? This is where I want to be, is into the mental health field. I want to help these families. I want them to know that they're not alone. We're here to help them. And just because they have a degree, they don't know what's going on with your child. They don't know that is your child, not theirs to tell you what to do. So I have a team of 5 in the clinic, and there's 4 that's on grants, I think, right now that we have family partners. And I'm getting a lot of feedback for them that how well they are, how they work with the families. We work with juvenile justice. We know all the laws. We work with the schools. We know what the laws are on the education. So they'll ask us if we can go in with them and to help them. And we don't speak for them. They do it themselves. We advocate. We help guide them. If they're struggling, I can tell they're struggling, I will pick up it. Now the schools, I'm getting calls from the school and they're asking me, Wanda, will you sit in? We have a family that would love for you to sit in and help them what the art is. And I would love to. I really would. And we're trying to get out there. I am trying to work with it where I can go out there and do more. But right now we're just doing what we have in our clinics. So that's what we do, and I'll fight for each and every one of my families.
Oh, I know. You're a fighter.
Yeah, I
That's
will.
for sure.
And I really appreciate that because coming from that sort of environment growing up where there's a lot of internal clashing with my own family, me personally, I would have wished I had that sort of person to be able to provide that support and give that global perspective that this is not a child just acting out. There was more to the picture than that met the eye.
Right.
So it's really cool to hear that's the focus of family partners.
And we're also seeing right now a lot of families, grandparents are racing, and it's hard no, I'm a great grandma. I know I don't want somebody to come in. We don't tell you what to do, but it's still hard. I have had so many grandmas yell at me, cuss me out, slam the doors on me. Like, I raised 6 kids. Don't you dare come in and tell me. But until they get to know that child is a little different, we just have to, we still punish them. They still know what's right and wrong, but we just try to train them. That's the word I want to use. That we try to train them how to be with their child. I have a grandson that's severely ADHD, and he wears me out. He wears me out. But my favorite line is say what you mean and mean what you say and stick to it all the way. My son would come in I'd tell him, okay, you got to be home at 9:00. Well, I didn't tell him what day. That kid would come in 2 or 3 days, Mom. And he was right. I thought about it, and in his mind, So now when you say what you mean and mean what you say, I learned that real quick. So that's what I try to tell my parents. And I have parents now that they live in Kentucky, they live all over, and they still contact me. And their children are grown, and they tell me how much that they appreciate me and everything. But I know I'm blabbing a little bit, but with the grandparents, I'm going to come back to them. It is so hard to get them to change their ways. But when we do, that man, they're just open arms for us. And they apologize to me, Wanda, I'm so sorry. We do a nurturing program with these families and stuff. And it's not how to be a parent. It's not. Yeah, I just want to get what family partners are and what we do. But I'm starting to see the states opening up about us. And so hopefully we're just going to boom everywhere, go out there.
I have a story about the do what you say, not what I do thing. I was babysitting a kid. This was years ago, and she got in trouble for throwing her chair across the room. And they're like, "Why did you throw that chair across the room?" And she goes, "I've been in this school for 3 years and ain't nobody ever told me I couldn't throw a chair." I was like,
That-
and she's got a point.
Exactly.
There is no rule about that.
She does. I still have this one kid. I call him my little Texas tornado. He's grown now. I went to the school with the mom one day, and because she called me, she goes, "Can you please come? They're calling me again. They're always calling me to pick up my kid because he did." I said, "No, you don't pick him up unless he did this and this." She goes, "Just come with me." And I said, "Okay." So we're walking down the hall. My little Texas tornado comes out. He's throwing stuff, and I knew exactly what room we're going in. And he comes out and he looks, "Oh my God, Grandma's here." So he goes, "Teachers, y'all tell me to pick it up. Hurry, or I have to pick it up." And I started laughing. I said, "Yeah, you're right. They know who I am when I come through." So
That's really amazing. I love hearing the impact that our programs get to have on our communities and the individuals that we serve. Do you have any other like testimonies, stories that really stand out to you about the impact of family partner?
yes, there was a child that was getting ready to go to JDC,
Wait,
Juvenile Justice
yeah,
Detention Center. And I fought for him all the way. I fought for him, and this family was going to get thrown out. They were just troublemakers. So they called us, and it's what's called the Yes Waiver. We went in as a team, and we went in blindsided. I was scared to death. I really was, because what I was hearing from different people all over the place about this family, I thought, oh, and I don't scare easy. I really don't. But then I had to think back in my mind what that mom really is going through. So I stood back and I went and met the family and I talked with her. And when I heard her story, where she came from, she was in tears. I don't cry much either. And boy, did I break down. I was in tears. And it took us probably about a year. We got this family on the right tracks. This child didn't want to commit suicide anymore. This child finally reached out to why this child was acting out. And the whole time, something was going on with this child with the step parent. So we got the child away from them. And now we got a report here a while back, don't know what it was, that the child is starting to go to college and thanks us for everything for their life that we've shown them. The mom thanks me every time I see the mom. She just hugs
that's
me.
incredible.
Yeah. We have we really do. I have one family partner out of, sorry, I'm chewing. She's awesome. She really is. There's times I have to bring her down. I have to calm her down because she gets excited like I do. And I said, "We don't do that. We can't do that. We just help the families." But she has so many great stories. She has reached out. She's starting different groups for autism, for children being autistic. She's got with so many different places to open up, and they're coming to talk to our families about different things. There's a museum over there that they're letting the kids come free because of her. And McKenna.
Yeah, it's a great.
McKenna. Yeah, it's a really good program. So I'm proud of each and every one of my family partners.
You talked a little bit about the Yes Waiver program. Can you explain more about that?
Okay, the Yes Waiver, I see it. Years ago, we had a thing called the wraparound program where we just wrapped ourselves around these families. Now the state's looking more it's called the Yes Waiver. It's a grant that they picked up a couple of years back. What they do is the same thing. We wrap ourselves around this family. They have somebody with them at all times. They have a Yes Waiver facilitator that will go meet with the child all the time. The family partner we have will meet with the families to see what their need is. They also have a CLS worker that's a community person that comes out. We don't leave. It's about the child. It's about the child. And they're not going to let them go loose. They won't. We try to keep them in the homes instead of sending them to an RTC, instead of sending them to a hospital. The yes waiver is to keep a child in the home. We will do whatever we can to keep that child. Sometimes it doesn't work out that way, but most of the times it has. It has. The yes waiver is a really good program. I really enjoy it. I do sit on a team right now. I wish I could sit on them, all of them, because I enjoy working with the level 4s, the levels that we have. But I have other stuff I got. But I'm there if they need me. I am there if they need me.
Absolutely. So I know you've been a part of Hill Country for a
Quite a while now.
really long time. And I always enjoy asking this question because this really shows the heart and passion of our team. And that's, what's your reason why? Why do you do this work?
One thing, because of my son, the one that passed away, I'm going to make sure that my parents, my families, and I call them mine because they are, that they're taken care of, that they know that they're not in this journey alone. I've seen a lot of changes in Hill Country. Some were bad, but so far they've all been good. I've been treated very well. I'm not treated like, you don't have a doctor's degree, you don't have that bad. I'm not. I'm treated like me. It's just for my families, basically.
What was your son's name?
Ryan.
Okay.
Yeah. And what else do I like about Hill Country? Working with everybody. I enjoy working with y'all. I enjoy knowing that all the grants that we're getting, but sometimes I don't like, they'll say, Wanda, what? There's so many things that we have. I don't even
Absolutely.
know what it's about and stuff. But I'm really excited about to see the hospital.
Yeah, that's
That's
gonna be
open.
exciting.
I'm very excited about that. God, we need our own. It is awesome. I think, what was it, 16 beds for the children? And I know we'll have a family partner over there.
One in Uvalde, and then the Hayes Kamala area is getting
There,
installed.
yeah, that's
So
right. I forgot about the Hayes. I'm
That's
just
exciting.
excited. Yeah.
We've also got the Youth Respite Center that we're slowly being and progressing further.
Yeah, the Youth Crisis Respite
Oh,
Center
yes,
in New
yes,
Braunfels. The
yes,
Peacock.
yes,
That's a cool. That's
yes.
a cool place.
The one Melissa has,
Mhm.
Lauren. Yeah.
That's just
Oh, I
an-
love that. I love their
Yeah.
peacock. Yeah.
And that's just an
Yeah.
opportunity for kids 13 to 17 who need a little break to go out to the house. They can still work on their homework and just have a little bit of structure and a little bit of time for themselves.
And we also have the youth respite down there that they just started on the crisis. I think this is the 2nd year. And they're a little bit different. They're family partners than what we are. They don't have to meet with the LAR, and that's the legal representatives for the families, the parents. And we do. We have to. But they can go out if, let's say, if the child is living with grandma, but grandma don't have the rights. That's okay. Or if the child living with their boyfriend, they're 16. That's okay. They can meet with them and stuff. And it's also a really awesome program. And I think there's 2 family partners there. They don't have to do we do skills. They don't. They just open up, and they're more like the resources, but they're great. They really are. They do really good groups. And then
What sort of skills is the focus point of the
family partners, what we're
yes, I'm
doing. Yeah.
blanking.
The skills that we teach is like our nurturing program and stuff. It's more to, like I said, train the parents how to accommodate their child. Every child's different. You're not going to treat, because you're going to hear, why does he get a special attention than this? He's really not. But this is the way his brain works. This is how he's doing. So we try to teach him to love your child. And it's okay to say no. It's okay. I was the first one that I would tell everybody, oh my God, my kid had me under. He made the biggest fool out of me. Bless your soul, son. But let me tell you, I went to school one day because, he was hot. He said, Mama, this teacher did this and this. Boy, I was hot.
I was like, you don't poke Mama Bear.
Exactly. I went in and I was just wrapped, and they said, oh, and I said, I want my son in here with me. Well, Ryan was fighting it. What I find out? That little lied to me. He did. I was ready to go to take this call the cops on this principal, and I was ready. And so when they called him in, so I said, we'll teach him a lesson. So then went in, and so the principal said, Ryan, did so-and-so do this to you? Mama, they had me turn to say, I said, Ryan, now you tell me what you said. All right, Mama, I lied. I thought you should have heard. But ever since, I thought, okay, to me, when you open your mouth, you're lying to me. That's what I always tell him. He would say that. So I try to tell my parents and teach them to, okay, just because this child is a little bit different, they still know what's right and wrong. They
And
still
different
need to,
isn't bad either. It
No,
just has
it's
a
not.
different.
Exactly.
It's okay.
They need to be punished in a different way, though. You're not going to take, and most of the times right now, what I'm seeing is all this Nintendo. They're always on videos 24/7. And then if you take that away, by God Almighty help. And I always tell them I would do it. My kids do the same thing. I wouldn't go. They knew the rules, and wouldn't even go in their room if I could hear it. I went in there. I switched their electricity off. They finally figured it out, but they go, I don't know. But that's the type of skills that we teach with the parents, and you got to have
Support,
patience.
too.
Yeah, and oh God,
Absolutely.
you have to have the support. Yeah, and the patience is your biggest thing, and it'll wear you down as a parent. But if you follow what we're asking you to do, it will be better. It ain't going to be perfect, but it does get better. It does.
Absolutely. So how does one get enrolled into Family Partners or
Before you get a
criteria?
Wanda. I want a
Well,
Wanda.
they don't get a wand. Which I think they do get a wand if they like it. Once they come into our clinic and stuff, they will be doing the PCRP, the plan for the
Mhm.
child, and they'll ask the parents. There's a little spot in there for the needs for the
Mm.
families, and they'll tell them about what family partners are. And yes, I do need to get. It's my own fault. I need to reach out more to more clinics to get them to put family partners on the plan. We are not. We don't have to. The parents don't have to see us, only if they want to.
Right.
So when we have the intake coordinator, they're doing really right now. They'll say, well, hey, we have a family partner. Would you like to see him? And this and that. And then they put us on the plan. Even if we're not on the plan, if it doesn't count towards our measures, I tell them, you meet with them. It doesn't matter. These families are here, and that's what we're here for.
Absolutely.
That's
And
exactly
it's
what
no
we're here
additional
for.
cost, right?
No,
Absolutely.
we are
Yeah.
medicated. Now Medicaid does pay us now, and which is great. I went to Austin about 5 years ago to the Capitol. We were fighting it because that's when peers
Mm.
were able to get billed, and they didn't pass ours. So we were fighting it. I sat on the Texas board. I've done everything to fight to get us to have Medicaid pay for us, because people can't just be hiring us and not get nothing back. And I get it.
Yeah.
It costs money. So they finally got us. Yeah. I'm
Awesome.
excited
Mhm.
about that. I really am.
And it always seems like in the mental health field, especially in the most recent years, we're growing, they're exploring more options. It's becoming more person-centered and more about what the person needs instead of what other people think they need.
Exactly. And we're more
Yeah.
trauma informed.
Yep.
I will say that. I really will. Like I said, I've seen a lot of changes and stuff, but a lot is for the better. I used to get aggravated when I first started. These parents would bring in their children because they needed help. It'd take 4 to 5 to get them involved. And boy, the changes when I saw that came, that now you do your intake, you fill out your paperwork, do your intake, and it's like that. And I love it. I really do. So we dropped the ball on some families, and every director knows that the ball is dropped. I will talk to them. Hey, what happened to this family? And sometimes it just happens. We're just human. It happens. And as family partners, we try to stay up on top of all our families to make sure they're getting the services, which they are, that they need and stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
One Wanda thing I want to talk about
Uh-oh.
is during the disaster response. We had one of our teams that were from an urban area. We had our little debrief, and they turned around and then they said, I learned how to skin a raccoon today. Everybody was like, I wonder who taught them how to skin a raccoon. It was Wanda. So,
We did. We had a good time during disasters.
Yeah.
We really do. And I think that's a passion of mine too, is to help other people. But yet we got to break loose. I was given one of the LMHAs. Speaking of that, we were driving by and there was a longhorn out there, and she goes, oh, look at that cow. That bothers me. Okay. Just like when they say, oh, look at that baby calf. It's a calf. That's what a baby is. That stuff bothers me. And I turned, and I'm not going to say her name, but I turned and I looked at her and said, what was that? She goes, look at that cow. I said, okay. Then when we get back, and she goes, Juan, is there something you want to tell me? I said, yes. I said, sit down. I get out my phone. I said, look at this. She goes, oh, it's a longhorn. And the sad thing about it, she was from Austin. Okay.
you were like,
She didn't know. But yeah, I'm just me. Okay. I'm
Yeah,
not anybody else.
And that's one of the privileges I also got to experience during the disaster response was being able to connect with you and see that personalized side of you, that you're not afraid to embrace who you are, present the way that you present to anybody and everybody, And that was one of the things that got me through as
Oh,
we were both
thank God.
supporting the
Thank you.
community was our lunch excursions
Yes,
together,
I miss
going
those.
out to support the
Yeah.
community together. Those were always some of my fondest memories with you.
Well, thank you.
Of
And I
course.
enjoyed doing it to all of y'all. Today, we went and ate, and I was going to ask her what this thing was. I still don't know what it is.
It's or the
No, it's round, it's white, it has a little
The
pink
fish
thing.
cake. It's fish cake.
Okay, sorry, but I don't eat those.
To explain whoever's listening right now, it is we went to a ramen restaurant because I was like, we need something cozy. We need something to bring us together for this podcast.
Brought me to get to.
I already am happy.
But no, Tyler, I really thank you for that. I try to be there for everybody. I know how to put up, since my son's death, I really changed a lot. I put up a shield for you. And that's my passion now, is to help everybody. But I was like that years back. I wouldn't talk. I was growing up, I was a little heathen. And I'll say right now, I was a defiant little turd. And not me. But I have learned I wouldn't speak up for myself until I found that aha moment. And I think that's why I'm here for our families. There's sometimes that I can hear my husband, your mouth's going to get you in trouble. It probably will. It probably will. But that's okay. That's just who I am.
Yeah, and you're the same with everybody.
I am.
That's what I appreciate about you. Is
I
you
am.
don't get somebody else with Wanda.
You get me the full thing. Okay.
We can wrap it up.
I think that was a great first session for Let's Talk About It. We learned a lot about Family Partner. We learned about how to get involved with services. We got to hear about Wanda's own recovery and her experiences. And it was a really great first session.
Well, thank y'all for inviting me.
Of course.
Really
Thanks for
appreciate
being our guinea pig.
it. Yeah. Thank you. I'm used to that too.
Can you skin a guinea
Except-
pig?
Except for the food. I don't like being a guinea pig on this.